around 1997. Where I lived, the house on the right-hand side of me was a very old kind of house, and it had a big fruit tree out the back, which was directly opposite my bedroom window. It was summer, I know that much, because all the windows were open and it was hot up there that year. I had my backsliding windows open, and the dogs behind my house, every night for, I don't know, I'd say minimum 3 nights, were barking off their head. So I'd go to the backsliding windows and yell at it. And then one night, I was just so annoyed with it that I decided to go to the side window, which was next to the next door neighbour's house. And I opened the curtain and I've yelled, "Shut up!" And I stopped dead in my tracks, and there was this big, tall thing, as tall as the tree, standing there, and it turned and looked at me. I looked at it and I shut the curtains. I was shit scared. And it was roughly about 5 metres from my window.
Do you remember whether it was late or early in the evening or?
Late at night, because I was asleep, so it would be around near the midnight, possibly. I'm not too sure of the time, but I know it was late at night.
When you were looking out the window, this thing was reasonably close. This fruit tree, was it in the middle of your backyard or in a group of other trees, or?
It was at the back of their house. The house is now being done up and added on. I looked it up on Google Maps last night. And the house behind him was a vacant property that you could enter in straight from the street. I'm roughly about 5'5", and that tree would be taller than me. And it was standing up, near the height of the tree. It was big. It was not human. It shut me down in my tracks immediately because, like I said, I just decided to use the side window to yell out to the dogs, which were the house was directly behind me. So in between me and the actual house that's always been there behind me is a bit bushy, and the corner of their fence of their backyard, they were in that corner barking up towards, like the direction where I saw this thing, which was on the right-hand side of my window. In
terms of you observing this thing, was it lean or was it heavy or was it, what was
heavy.
The kind of general shape?
Heavy. It was big. It was like wide, not tall and slender. It was kind of wide. And if I try and visualise this back in my mind, because it was a bloody scary event when it actually happened, but it was hairy. It wasn't human at all in any shape or form, but it stood like a human. It stood at least 7 foot tall. Now, the back of my house is a sunroom, and from underneath that you could access under the house, okay? So I'm up a bit higher than my neighbour, so I'm looking kind of on a down angle, not too much of a down angle. It looked me in the eyes, I looked it in the eyes, and so, yeah. So but he was big.
And did it move before you shut the curtains? Was it moving at all, or was it just still standing there?
No, it stopped. It stopped. So if he was standing at this tree, he turned to his right side and looked at me as I yelled, "Shut that up," and that's as far as I got. Looked at it straight away, I looked at it, and I closed the curtain. I wish I didn't, but I was bloody scared because I didn't know what it was.
When you're looking at this thing, you definitely got a sense of hair on it, not just like a figure in clothes or anything like that.
No, definitely hair. Long, like you would say maybe a golden retriever. You know how they got a bit of a long coat? It definitely wasn't dressed in anything at all.
In terms of the overall shape, when you're looking at it, was it like, you said it was kind of very big and quite tall, but was it overall proportions like a human or different?
Yeah. On a massive scale of a human. If you look at a 7 foot tall person, because he was reaching out on the fruit tree. Yeah, I'd say he was all in proportion, but I'm talking like seconds of direct eye contact, but he was very big. These dogs barked on quite on several occasions, but I'd never gone to this side window, and it was only this one time that I did.
Did it have a big head or a small head? Or?
Yeah. Yeah, but yet again, in proportion to what it actually was.
And this thing wasn't thin built, it was actually quite solid and...
Solid, very solid, yes, very solid.
Did you get a sense of the colour of its hair or at all, or...?
Dark. I wouldn't say black, but I'd say maybe a chocolate. I only told a few people because it's not something you can talk about whether I'll go, yeah, righto. But it impacted me enough to go, I know it was not any person at all.
When you first saw it, had a hand on the tree or hands, or how was it? What was its posture?
Yeah, it was like it was picking the fruit off the tree. That tree is gone because they've extended the back of this house.
So you saw it side on effectively and then it turns towards you?
I would have seen the back of it, the side of it, and it's turned the top half of its body to look at me.